Thanks so much. I think about David, and I want to tell a story that hit me again the other week when I was in New York for owners meetings. We meet, and there's 30 teams, and there's a principal owner representative for each team. And it is probably the most full-blown type A group you can imagine. Every owner more than the next, certain of his position as the master of the universe. And we entered the boardroom and we sit around a big table, and David walks in and calls the meeting to order, and we all sit around like attentive and dutiful kids the first day at kindergarten. And I think about that each time we meet, and it's a bit of an exaggeration, but not too much. And what I want to illustrate is such a reflection on how we all feel about David, not just the work that he's done for the NBA and the growth of the league, and the league's just getting ready to explode around the world and be so important. His acumen, his knowledge of business, his broad range of skill at the business level. More than that, even though, it's I think the love and respect that we all have for him as a person. He connects with each of us. He understands what we're doing. He engages and supports us in a very unique way. And each owner feels that they have a very special and unique connection to David. So he's a very gifted administrator, and his willingness to be here tonight to support me at this time tells you so much about him. And David, thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here tonight. I too want to thank Chairman Glenn Johnson and the board and the very talented staff of OHA. You do a great job. I'm so proud of your work and the repositioning of the organization. Thank you for your hard work for tonight, a very special night for all of us. Congratulations to my fellow inductees. Honored and privileged to share this platform with you. I too, especially pleased that my pal Aubrey is in this class and we can have this memory together. I do quickly want to introduce some family that are here. Christy and Jimmy Everest, my in-laws, and my niece Tricia Everest, and Mary Fitzsimons and her husband Colin are here. My brothers Bobby and Mark and their wives Gina and Laurie. Thank you guys so much. If they're asked one more time if they're Clay Bennett's brother, they're gonna, I poor guys, but thank you guys for hanging with me. My 94-year-old grandmother, Molly Hirsch, is here, and I'm so fortunate that she's with us. At a strapping 4.5 feet, she still rules the roost. I also want to recognize Ed and Thelma Gaylord, who played such an important part in our lives, and we remember them and think of them every day. And certainly they loved the Heritage Association, they loved the Hall of Fame, and I know they're with us tonight. I want to recognize and thank my mom and dad, Sherry and Ike Bennett, who, when Aubrey talked about the adolescent challenges, I knew it was ringing true with them, so thank you. My biggest supporters for a long time. My kids, Molly, Christy, and Graham, they too, very unique individuals, but they get along and we have great fun together. Very proud of them. If I could get Graham to do a little more math homework and a little less study of NBA and OU football statistics, we could get something moving there. Wake up every morning, I know everything that happened in the NBA in about 5 seconds, a download from Graham. And Louise, with me it begins and ends with her. And I love you. Well, I practiced that 100 times. I cried every time, and I did it again. So, well, it didn't work. Anyway, thank you, sweetheart. So many personal friends that are here that came into town from across the country. A special friend came across the Atlantic, and I'm so proud of my friends. I love my friends. I'm very big on friends, and I just hope I can be the friend to each of you that you've been to me. I want to recognize and thank my many business partners, board members who I serve with on many companies and organizations, and the professionals that we work with, the lawyers and the financial experts, and all of the broad talent that really, at the end of the day, make these things work. And I've been the beneficiary of all of this talent. I'm happy to have had a place at the table and be a part of it, but certainly it's their talent that has really, the creativity and the commitment of their talent that has elevated our efforts and helped us be successful. I want to focus on one theme before I wrap up that I feel strongly about, and this is not this. And I love all of Oklahoma. I love every city in Oklahoma, and I love the people of Oklahoma. But I want to talk a little bit about the success of Oklahoma City and Oklahoma City's civic leadership, because it's been dramatic and it's been important and it has changed things. I believe, as our great Governor Frank Keating beautifully branded the Oklahoma Standard in the aftermath of the bombing, this is a little different. It's not the same emotional connection, but it touches it a bit, and it's what I don't have the right brand in my mind, but I think of it as the Oklahoma City model. And that Oklahoma City model is a model that I think defines community stewardship. The primary elements of that model are a highly engaged, committed, forward-thinking, elected government and their relative professional staffs. It is an engaged and committed and forward-thinking business community. It is a fair and forward-thinking media environment, and it's a knowledgeable and enlightened citizenry. When you think about putting those elements together, and as you look around the country and look at many cities that have issues relative to development and growth, when you look at that model and the continuing commitment of those people to work together, to build consensus, to put aside self-interest, to be smart, to be creative, to be bold. That's a transformative model, and all of us that are privileged to be a part of that, I know, recognize it, we cherish it, and it will serve this community for a long time to come. We have really repositioned Oklahoma City in a dramatic way. We are emerging as a bona fide Tier 2 city in this country. We have rebuilt our downtown, we have rebuilt our schools, we have much more to do, and I know that we will do it. As I thought through those remarks, and it's reflective, I think, of much of what you've heard with the previous honorees, it speaks to who we really are as Okies and so many of the fundamental things that we all believe in. There's a fundamental goodness and honesty in our people. We care about each other. We want to make things better, and we always try to do the right thing. I aspire to live these simple but deep Oklahoma values, and in receiving this remarkable honor tonight, I feel an enormous sense of responsibility, I feel an enormous sense of pride, and I have never been more committed to the future of this great state. I am honored, I am humbled, I am forever grateful. Thank you all very, very much.